As anyone who's been on tuned into this podcast, we never know what we're going to be dealt with technology and interference and stuff. Especially, Armando having something that can provide relief to many targeted individuals, myself included. I have several of his devices, and so let's get back on track. And so your products were originally created to help your own family. Can you elaborate on the specific challenges your family faced and how that shaped your work and led you into inventing the Silent Night and the Silent Night
The
Great Reset?
Sure thing. First of all, thank you for having me again. I always enjoy being on your podcast. And as far as the journey with my family, it's been a long journey. It's been a long 6 years now. And, well, it took me about a year and a half to finally get something that actually could work or was working for my wife, because it all started with her. And as soon as I started, helping her and blocking what they were doing to her, it didn't take but about 2 months, and they started attacking me and my 3-year-old daughter at the time. She was 3. So I went to work even more so and started optimizing the design, and it was Anna that said that I needed to get this out there to the other TIs and the TI community. So really, I could thank her for me bringing it to the community. But it's been a heck of a ride, and I love my family like most husbands would, and fathers, and I wasn't going to give them up to the criminals. So it was quite an experience, and I did learn a few lessons that I guess God was wanting me to learn throughout that time period that it took me to figure out how to do what we do now, and in the end, I couldn't find anybody to help me. I couldn't find anybody with any technical expertise, with signal analyzing and RF engineering. And really, I finally turned to God and prayed, and little by little, I was shown the answer and shown the path of where the answers were. And from there, we're here. So I could honestly say that our quality of life is a lot better than it was when we first got targeted.
Your fur baby.
Sorry. Yeah, somebody's here. I think either her. Yeah, not worried about her. So I've been optimizing the Silent Night device ever since the first generation I came out with, which, if you remember, it was this tube style PVC. It was my first one I ever came out with, and
I do remember that. I attended a Targeted Justice monthly meeting in Houston, and it was that cylinder style design. And I remember sitting with others that were there, and I felt calmer and relief at that time. And it wasn't long after that I got the version that was the double juggernaut with the telescope, antennas on it. That was my first
the black
one.
box.
Yes.
Yeah, telescoping night. Yeah.
So, and then I continued.
It's lots.
So yeah, that helped
Sorry.
out me. Yes, because I was using it nightly, and to the point that I was like, I have to have a backup because it's that important to me. So can you walk us through? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I was just ask, how's your? I know your husband he's a non-TI, correct?
Correct.
And
And
did you
but
see any?
he does get some ear ringing from time to time, but
Right.
not 100% if it's related to targeting or not. But yes,
Did you
and
see an improvement with his mood and behavior after you started using the selenite?
I think we're just good because I run it at bedtime, and I know that he sleeps very soundly and everything. But with me, at times they want to try different directional
Right.
uh, ways of trying to get through it, and I can always tell when they're attempting to do that, because then I'll, like, ringing will be kind of
It's not.
higher in my ears, but then they can't get through with that voice transmission in the way that
Right.
they like to. I'll hear the walls start to popping in different directions within the bedroom too, like they're trying different angles and stuff within
Right.
it. And I do have the newer version that is pictured on the screen here that doesn't it doesn't have the antennas on it. It has a
No,
rubber
it's
dial on it, so you can
it's
adjust the
it's actually
frequency. Mm-hmm.
correct. The antenna's internal. It has a marine grade heat shrink to protect your finger for when you can adjust it on the fly while it's on. Um, but essentially, it's very compact, and you can use pretty much any battery bank to power it. Um, it's very efficient, and it's a lot more safe now than with my first generation, and even the ones with the telescoping antennas, where they're potentially you could get a nice little bite if you touch both antennas at the same time. Um, but we've removed that safety issue, and made it a lot more safe to have around kids and pets. Pets can get curious. Obviously, kids can get into everything. Toddlers. Um, so it's definitely a lot more safe, and the the output is it's much stronger as far as the coverage. The bandwidth is a little wider. Um, with this latest update, you have an option to adjust it for corona discharge if you wanted to make some ozone in your living space and clean the air, or adjust it for maximum RF shielding.
Okay,
So
so can you kind of expand upon that and walk us through the development process of the Silent Night, and
uh,
what makes it so effective against voice to skull transmission, the remote neural monitoring, and the behavior modification?
okay, well, let's start with I guess optimizing it. I, I really don't have time for much for anything, but when I'm waiting for a batch of Silent Nights for the epoxy to set, or just random time when I can have a chance to work on optimizing it. I have a separate Silent Night that I add parts, remove parts, and calculate components and look at theories and try different topologies to see if I can get a better optimized design. So that happens throughout the weeks as I'm fulfilling orders. Um, I'm always constantly trying to improve it, and I believe that if we constantly update it or optimize it, it'll make it a lot harder for them to try to circumvent it, or finding one way to circumvent all of them. Um, so try to mix it up and keep them on their toes, because they definitely try that. They do it to us. So um, from there, um, it's pretty much the design is pretty much stayed the same as far as in this type of enclosure. Um, where were we going with this?
Well, you were going to, kind of draw upon from the scientific or the technical principles,
Right.
about
So
how the device works itself to interfere with these projected or directed frequencies.
So we've recently found not too long ago that obviously they use many different frequencies to attack us. For my wife's R&M, we first found it in the 630 megahertz band, and we have that band covered pretty good over here on my property. So I found they were getting through, and we didn't have the silent night device in the living room, and I was trying turning on and off switches on this signal eliminator box that I was fixing for a TI. So I was able to turn all the bands off that it covered and turn one on at a time to see which one would help my wife. And we found that they were using the 4G LTE 2100 band, 2100 megahertz band. So they can constantly change, on the fly, the frequencies used to send the R&M links or create that link, or the B2K. And we need a device that can cover a wide spectrum of bandwidth. So, I mean, if you were to buy, these signal jammers that are illegal in the States, depending on how you use them, you'd have to buy many of them, because most of them, they're pretty bulky, and you could buy the multi frequency ones, but they're big and they're heavy, and they have a lot of antennas. And if you block any of the emergency communication frequencies, you're liable to get looked upon from the FCC or
Yeah, and in one TI's case, I remember being at a monthly meeting for Targeted Justice in Houston. They came knocking on their door because the feds come and knocked on the door, and of course,
they almost knocked it down.
yeah, exactly. So, but you've developed this. Yeah, go ahead.
She had a silent night device, and they took all the jammers that they had that her husband had ordered for her, and they left. The only thing they left was the silent night.
Because they didn't understand that, right? So
right, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
So
That and it's not the silent night's not a jamming device. It's a personal space shielding device. It doesn't extend further out than 15 to 20 feet from the center of the device. So, we're not looking to block emergency communications. We're not looking to block anything other than block the nefarious signals that are being used against us in our personal space. So, this is one of the ways we've been keeping it legal. Let's see. The manipulating of the frequencies, this, I guess you could say, creates more, it brings the noise floor up so that it floods the signals that they're using. It'll bring the noise floor up, depending on what band we're talking about 30 dBms to 50 dBms on the lower sub-gigahertz frequencies. And they like to hide their stuff, their nefarious signals, in the noise floor, just right above the noise floor. So it's not too hard to overcome their nefarious technologies. And this is the only device on the market in the world that can cover such a wide bandwidth in one small little package. You can buy a high-powered signal blocker, but it's going to be about this big, and it's only going to cover 200 megahertz maybe. That's very, very narrow. The silent night covers everything from about 400 kilohertz all the way well past 12 gigahertz. That's a lot of bandwidth, a lot of spectrum. Yeah. And I still today have not found any device that can do that in one package. And I can show you and give a quick demonstration.
Petite package too. It's very, very petite.
Right. I mean, it's just as big as the signal analyzer, you know, fits in the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do a sweep.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, let's go ahead and do that demonstration.
I was just wanting to. So we're just gonna.
I'm gonna
hold that
remove.
right there.
Give me just a second. Let me take off the screen so we can make the picture bigger. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, so that is 1 megahertz to 4 gigahertz. That's sweeping, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. Let's see. Hopefully, I don't mess with the sound, the audio, but. You see how we brought the entire noise floor up?
Yeah. So what it's doing, it's intercepting those signals and changing them by elevating them.
Well, what it's doing is it's creating its own noise and bringing that bass. Let's turn this off because it's messing with my audio.
Mm-hmm. So we could definitely see
what
how
it's doing
it did
is
intercept the.
Bringing that noise floor up. So it floods their signals.
Armando, you're breaking it up. You're coming in and out, and your camera's
there you go.
freezing.
I'm sorry.
There we go. Yeah, that's much better. So yeah, we got to see that how it changes.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Well.
Yes, you're kind of still frozen a little bit.
The electrical
going
field
in and out. Yeah,
around you.
Probably